Yasas and welcome to Vasily's garden, folks. Standing in front of my little compost bins, which admittedly I don't use that often. The family does, and I'll go through what's been going on here. We've got a 3-bay system, which generally you should be turning and filling it up quite often. I recommend you turn it over at least once a week, or mix it through, get a corkscrew or get yourself an auger bit, or use a garden fork. But this one here, for instance, I've only got chook manure. I was going to call it chook mulch. Well, that's exactly what it is. It's chook mulch and nothing else. Maybe a couple of leaves here and there. We've had some old roots growing out from the bottom, and it hasn't been hydrated a lot. Look, we've got mycelium developing on there. So there's fungi in here. It just needs to be hydrated, and we need to add some soil to it, I suppose, or actual compost, just to blend it through so we can get a little bit less porosity in it. It is too loose at the moment. So it's purely chook manure. But I'd want to turn it into a organic compost. And as we go through, you'll see what I mean. Now, that has been sitting there for at least 2 months. Haven't done, maybe more actually, 3 months. And I've only started turning it over. This one here has had chook manure and compost, and as you can see, it's got bones in here. It's got eggshells and leaf matter, and I've told the family, and I need to put a sign up here, small particles, chop everything up. I need to put a blender out here so they can just throw the stuff into the blender, then throw it in here. No large pieces, because it takes all that much longer for it to break down, especially the eggshells. Crush them up, add them in, even the leaf matter. Sit there with the scissors and just chop it up if you have to, or get a blender and chuck it in a blender first. I do a lot more work in the garden, obviously, and the less in this compost area, and this is for the family, but look at this one. It's actually a bit better than the one next door because it's got more texture in it, a little bit of everything. It's starting to bond. Again, dehydration, because we're not adding water, and it's vital that you add the water to it. You'll see that'll start to form. Here you go. If you want to see if there's life in there, there is life. Look, there's a worm in there. So the stuff is good. It's getting there. We just need to add the water because you need those elements: heat, moisture, air, carbon, nitrogen. So the water's what's missing, and obviously the green waste has got to break down a little bit more. So work it through, work it through, work it through. And again, green waste, break it down, eggshells, break it down. But this one's been sitting here for a long time. And I cracked it open the other day. Well, let me find a piece for you. Hey, Craig, mate, what do you reckon about this? Oh, look at that. Look at this. Look at the life. Look. Look at this. This is what you want. Look at the life in here. Look at this. This is exactly what you want to be sprinkling into your garden now. I know you're watching this now, mate, and you're chuckling in your seat there watching it and drooling about it. You go, oh, good stuff. That's the good stuff, folks. This is the end result. Now, you can let it sit there for forever and a day, and it'll eventually become that because the composters, the insects that is, they'll come in there and start breaking it down for you. Then the fungi will kick in, then the microbes will kick in as well. But when it turns into this beautiful chocolate brown, dark cookie, it's not even brown. Oh, look at that. That is what I need to sprinkle all over my garden. This hand here, there's more life in this than there are people on this world. I guarantee you that. This is what you want. And I reckon I'd rather have these little creatures than the people in the world in my hand. I'll take that back. I still love my family and my friends and everybody out there who watches me and follows me and all that, and everybody who cares about the planet just like we do. So folks, look after your garden, and this is what you want to create, a compost texture like that. Cookie crumble, it just cracks away. I'm in love with this stuff, and this is what I'm hoping to achieve next door, which needs a lot more work. It's not going to happen on its own. It will over time, but you need to add water to it, otherwise it will dehydrate completely. So this one has been lucky enough to get that. And the leaf matter will break down eventually too. So stay tuned for the big sign that's coming up here saying to the family, chop it small before you put it in. So chop and drop, don't throw it in there whole. You know, I can talk as much as I want. I know you out there listen, but my family doesn't. Obviously not. Check out my website. I can't talk anymore because I'm having bad thoughts of what's going to happen to me once I see this video. Vasily'sGarden.com, everything you need every day. And what day is it today? I think it's Thursday. Doesn't matter anyway. Every day's the same here because we're loving it. From me, Vasily, Maresi.